Hello guys, you're welcome to my channel. So today's topic is, do rape victims enjoy sex during the trauma? So I know this is a topic that a lot of people are uncomfortable discussing. People don't want to talk about it, people don't even want to think about it. But despite the fact that it's not something we talk about, there are so many victims out there. The statistics show. So, why don't people want to talk about it if there are so many victims? It's because of the stigmatization that goes with rape. So, in our society today, there is a lot of victim blaming. Instead of blaming the abuser, people tend to blame the victim. So, you hear things like, why did you go to his house or her house? Why did you wear that clothes you wore? Why did you make that hair you made? Why did you go out by that time of the night? Every question tends to blame the victim. They analyze the situation so much that at a certain point, the victim might even turn around and blame herself or himself for putting himself or herself in that situation. So that is why people don't talk about these things, but it's actually something we should discuss every time. So what is rape? Rape is when someone forces another to have sex against his or her will, or when sexual intercourse occurs without consent. That is rape. In our society, we have a picture of how rape should be, a perfect rape. That is why if your experience doesn't fit into what they already have in their head as to how rape is supposed to be, they blame you. Or they even, say you're lying, you're not raped, you actually consented. So we have this perfect picture of what rape should look like. Rape has to be with somebody, maybe a stranger more powerful, or with a little girl, and then the girl will be screaming and all that. That is the kind of picture we paint in our head. So when the story doesn't fit into our own thinking, it seems the story doesn't add up. We hear that a lot, especially on social media. When people share their experiences, you hear things like the story doesn't add up. Why didn't you shout? Why didn't you this? Why didn't you that? And a lot of question comes up. If you do not do what exactly what they feel it should, the perfect picture should be there, it wasn't rape. And that is why I came up with this topic. A lot of people actually believe that when there is no violence, then it was not rape. So rape has to be violent. Maybe there should be wounds, there should be bruises and all that, which is not the case. Sometimes rape is non-violent. The victim decides not to struggle. The victim decides not to, put herself in that situation where she has to fight, because she might have seen that there is imminent danger if she struggles. Especially if maybe it's a case of gang rape. You see like 5 men or 5 women there, some of them with weapons, and you decide, well, what is the point? It doesn't mean rape did not occur. It doesn't mean you consented. It is still rape because the person doesn't want further harm on herself, and she has seen that there is no point. Another reason why rape can be non-violent is if the person is intoxicated. The person could have been intoxicated maybe by alcohol, or the person could have been drugged, so the person doesn't even know what is happening. The person is already asleep as an effect of the drug that was given to her unknowingly. So the person cannot struggle, but it doesn't mean the person was not raped. Another reason why rape might not be violent is if the person is mentally incapacitated. That sometimes you see mad women on the road pregnant and you don't know, did they actually consent? Sometimes the person too can be physically incapacitated, so the person cannot struggle. It doesn't mean that rape did not occur. Another reason why rape might not be violent is the person lacks power. The person is not in a position of power. And the most horrific of all, the person might be a minor, a child. Haven't you heard of child rape? Even babies are being raped. I heard of a baby about 6 months or thereabout that was raped, and the baby did not survive it. That baby did not struggle. How would the baby struggle? It's not possible. So these are some of the reasons why rape might not be violent. Another thing is maybe a place you find yourself. I heard of a story of a girl that went to visit her longtime friend, and the person lives in a compound with a lot of people, and because of the stigmatization surrounding this kind of situation, the girl was raped in her friend's house, in her friend's room, and she couldn't shout because she knew that she would be shamed. So she actually kept quiet, and the guy enjoyed himself, and she stood up and walked out shamefully. She didn't want people to come and start shaming her and blaming her. And our society, there's a lot of victim blame, a lot of victim. In fact, if such a situation occurs in Nigeria, they will laugh at you, and give you 100 reasons why you caused it. And sometimes they tell you enjoyed it, there's nothing there, you were just doing shakara, like you were just, giving the guy a hard time. You actually wanted it. So these are some of the cases. So when somebody is experiencing rape, shouldn't the body know? So despite what rapists might want to believe, sexual arousal doesn't mean the experience is enjoyable. It doesn't mean the person wanted it, consciously or subconsciously. It's just a physical response. Whether the mind is on board or not, it's a physical response. It's just like sweating, like heartbeat. These are things that you cannot control. Okay, let's take for example, somebody comes and tickles you, maybe in a playful manner, and then you start laughing. Have you ever been tickled before? Then imagine maybe you are doing something very serious and you don't want to be distracted, and somebody comes to tickle you. Are you not going to feel, the tickle? Even when you don't want, to be tickled. Sometimes you even laugh. You're laughing and you're angry at the same time. So it's something like that. It doesn't mean you want to be tickled, but your body is responding to it because, yes, the body is being tickled and it has to respond. It has to respond. So it's something like that. So adding to this, sexual arousal originates from autonomic nervous system. Same reflex-driven system that controls the heart rate, sweating, perspiration, and even digestion. So you can see it's something that you cannot control. So the sensation is not an expression of consent or pleasure. It's simply a physical response. It's physiological. It's a physiological response. You cannot control it. And this is why most times men hardly come out to say they were raped. It doesn't mean it does not happen. Look at the statistics. More women are even, open about it, but it's very rare for you to hear a man say he was raped. And it's because of things like this. Questions will come up like, how come he was raped? How can a man be raped? I've heard a lot of people ask that question. So this is a physiological response. It's something you cannot control. Even if the person is scared, overwhelmed, or the person is even disconnected from his or her body, and the body is, continuously stimulated long enough, there's going to be some form of arousal. It's something you cannot control. It does not mean you enjoy the experience. It's not at all. So physical arousal is not consent. Getting wet is not consent. Getting aroused is not consent. Getting erection is not consent. Most survivors feel ashamed because of this. Already you have been raped, you just experienced a trauma, and then you feel your body has betrayed you. Sometimes you feel, because of the way your body responded, that maybe you wanted it consciously, or maybe your subconscious wanted it. That is not the case. So please, if you're a victim out there, don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. It's not something you would have controlled. It's physiological. It's out of your control. It's your body just responding. It's what your body is doing what it was designed to do. It's not your fault that you responded in a certain way. So don't beat yourself up. Don't blame yourself. And again, I want to ask those that survived, survivors, to please seek help, seek therapy, because when you don't get the help you need, it can cause some kind of mental breakdown. I've seen a lot of cases like that. So please seek help, seek the help you need. So thank you guys for watching my video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also turn on your notification button to get alert each time I post a video like this. Once again, thank you very much. Bye.